Good morning. My name's Brianna Wardle. I decided to start a new YouTube series for myself called Diary of a Realtor. This might be more entertaining for me than it is for anybody else, but I think it'd be fun to kind of look back later in my career and hear about some of the things that I'm struggling with now, or just some of the events that I went through. I think it'll be a fun little series. So also I kind of want to preface that my husband and I are renovating our master bathroom right now. So pardon the fact that I have random paint samples and no trim. It's been a work in progress for a little while now, but we're making progress. So it will look better eventually. Anywho, so I want to introduce kind of the series that I wanted to do here. I figured it would be fun to kind of just share some of my experiences that I go through on a daily basis. So I figured while I'm getting ready, I'll just kind of chat about some of the things that I've experienced recently. So this morning was an entertaining one for me. So I had a stager call me, or she wrote me last night, and she had said, hey, we're coming up on 30 days of your listing being staged. Are you ready for us to destage it, or do you want to wait a little bit longer? And I was like, no, that's fine. The appraiser already came and everything, so we can have somebody come in there and take out all of the furniture. So she didn't have lockbox access. So she asked me, hey, first thing this morning, could you go unlock it for us? And I was like, yeah, sure. So I run over there. I get there, it's probably like 7:30, and I don't know if I can even change this or not, because honestly, almost nobody does showings that early because people have to work. But there's a setting on it that says like you can't access the lockbox before, I think it's like 8 a.m. Well, of course, it's like early and I just finished my coffee and I totally forgot that that's a thing, because like I said, I never really do showings that early. So I got all the way over there, and it's probably like, I don't know, maybe 10-15 minutes from my house, a little further with traffic maybe. And of course I can't open it. So I drive all the way back home, and she didn't tell me when the people were gonna come over and destage everything. So I'm just trying to hurry. So I drive all the way home, get my extra set of keys for the listing, drive all the way back over there again. I get a phone call on the way over there, and she's telling me like, hey, we're here, we're waiting for you. So I hurry over there, and they're sweet and everything, but it's just funny because we deal with things like that all of the time. And I guess that was my bad, because I had forgot that I couldn't open the lockbox that early. But I had been talking to an agent yesterday, and I had a buyer who was interested in a house, and we were supposed to go look at the house today. We didn't have an appointment set up. We were still trying to figure out timing of everything. But I had texted my client, and I was like, hey, did you still want to go look at that house? And she goes, well, it's pending now, so we'll just hold off for a little bit at looking at houses. And I was like, okay. So I texted the listing agent just to confirm that it was pending, because it wasn't pulling up as pending in the MLS or on my HomeSnap app or anything. So I texted the listing agent, and I'm like, hey, I have a client that's interested in your house. Like, is it pending though? She said it's pending, but I can't get it to pull up. And she was like, oh yeah, we actually accepted an offer. And she was like, I'm curious, I hadn't changed it yet. And she's like, we're supposed to, sorry about that. But how did your client know that it was pending if it wasn't pulling up like online? And I said, well, I know my client lives near that property, so maybe she drove by it. Is there a sign out front that says it's pending now? And she wrote me back, and she was like, oh my gosh, of course there's a sign out there. I'm so sorry. Like, just kind of saying that she felt like really scattered about it and that she apologized. And I was like, honestly, it's no big deal. Like, that's just kind of our lives sometime. And it just got me thinking that she had said that she felt like sometimes she drops the ball, but we have so many different hats that we wear in our job, and just different things that we're responsible for. And the moral of the story is just be nice to people because things like that can kind of slip through the cracks. And like the more production that you do is often why agents have like a transaction coordinator, or they do hire an assistant, because it is hard to keep track the more business you do of all of the little tiny details of everything that we have to keep track of. And yeah, that's just the moral of the story, I guess, is just like give people a break, because we all have lives and we all have things going on, and sometimes it's just easier to just be nice to people and let them know that, hey, you might want to update this. So yeah, that was what happened to me in the last day, and I'm really excited to start this little series and share these kinds of stories with you guys. And if you do have any questions about, like, what does a realtor do, or what does a normal day look like, which is literally always changing, feel free to drop a comment below, and I will try and answer everything for you guys. And I will see you tomorrow.